Your father died, and you're sad. Come and join me. You know, when my father died, it took me a while to get over it, and I did. Now, if I'd known at the time what I know now, I could have done it quicker. What I'm going to do with you, Mabel, if it's okay, is I'm going to do a process which is called a psychosensory therapy. When we touch here, maybe just try this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that feels nice. Yep, that's good. So just do that because it feels comforting, because when you were a baby, your mother held you in her arms and she touched you here and it hardwired you to produce delta waves, right? Because when you get traumatized, what happens is 100 hertz wave travels from the thalamus and phosphorates what's called the AMPA receptors, right? A little technical, I know, but when we touch here, to produce delta waves.
Ray Mash was struck on the head at a construction site and developed the incredibly rare disorder of hysterical blindness. He was unable to see anything for 8 years. When I began working with him, it took some months before he could start to see images again, and then eventually, one day in a session, he could see his wife's face. How did I do it?
Hello, I'm Paul McKenna, and I've been studying the human mind for over 30 years.
Number one name in the UK now is Paul.
Please welcome Paul McKenna.
Paul McKenna. Paul McKenna will
Paul's hypnotic power.
Paul McKenna's thinking.
Paul McKenna.
Back in the early 90s, I had a comedy hypnotism show that was watched by hundreds of millions of people all over the world. I'd hypnotize people to think they were a ballerina or a Martian from outer space, and I was using hypnosis purely for laughs. Then I moved into helping people to use hypnosis for better things, to quit smoking, lose weight, and overcome phobias by reprogramming their minds. That's when I started getting extreme cases. For example, the veteran who'd had PTSD for 7 years and kept waking up screaming at 3 a.m. The lady with a fear of heights so bad she couldn't even climb a stepladder. The woman who was so cripplingly anxious about her appearance that she couldn't even look at herself in the mirror. Basically, the people that the rest of modern therapy had given up on. And I just thought, I wonder if it'll work. So what I did was guide them into an incredibly relaxed state of mind, more deeply relaxed than they'd been in years. Then, like a computer programmer, I'd go into their subconscious and find the unhelpful programs that were causing these behaviors and change them. As easy as flipping a switch, turning off the fear and turning on the freedom. What happened next was astonishing. 7 in 10 people were completely cured in a single 60-minute session. As if a switch had been flipped in their head, and suddenly the heavy weight of stress, anxiety, and worry were gone. Instead, they felt calm, alert, and resilient. It went from, oh my God, life's overwhelming, it's too much, to, I can breathe, I can see, I can feel fantastic, I feel clear-headed again. These people who are suicidal, grief-stricken, depressed, and then suddenly they've got a whole new lease on life. Now, to the untrained eye, it looked like I was performing miracles. And when I started demonstrating this to the military for treatment of PTSD, their traditional therapists couldn't believe it. To them, it looked like magic. They thought it was all too good to be true. They said, no, that's impossible. It'll never last. I don't blame them for being skeptical. I mean, think about it. When you're able to cure someone's PTSD that they've had for 10 years, that no other therapy has worked on, and you can do it in minutes, it looks unbelievable. It looks like a magic spell. But I knew it wasn't magic. Any sufficiently advanced technology looks like magic to the uninitiated. Just imagine showing up with an iPhone back in the 1800s. So I put my reputation on the line, and I made another TV show called I Can Change Your Life, where we travel around to show that these cutting-edge techniques work quick, and they last. And the results spoke for themselves. There's Matthew, who had a severe case of Tourette's, a brain abnormality with outbursts triggered by stress, who got an 80% reduction in his symptoms. And a lady who had a fear of heights, just 1 hour later, climbed on a C-111 cargo plane, and at 3,000 feet, she stands on the lip of the door, totally fearless. Or Ross Smith, the veteran and paramedic whose PTSD induced stress and anxiety that nearly destroyed him for years. Eventually, he tried to take his own life, twice. Then after 3 sessions with me, his mind was reprogrammed and his stress was gone. We documented everything and took part in university trials that championed alternative therapies. And time after time again, we showed that anyone can easily reprogram their mind to escape from stress, anxiety, and worry, without years of expensive therapy, going over and over problems again and again, without having to painfully relive the past trauma, and without having to do virtually anything at all. All they needed to do was sit back, relax, and let me do the work.
Hypnosis helps you to train your brain to relax. You keep your edge, you keep all of your ability to protect yourself and do the things that you need to, but you feel in control. You're able to, at will, switch into positive, optimistic states. So instead of being in that place where your mind is racing and you're worrying about everything, it's great to be able to switch that off and have instant peace, calm, and comfort. Hypnosis
was suddenly the biggest psychological breakthrough in centuries. And my show went stratospheric across the world. All of a sudden, my phone rang off the hook with people saying, "Can you do that for me?" And it wasn't just people who wanted help with stress. It was also some of the most successful people in the world who wanted to be even better. There was one particular moment that I remember vividly, when Nigel Benn, one of the all-time greatest boxers, grabbed the microphone at the end of the fight and thanked me for helping him win.
The person I'd like to thank most of all is Paul McKenna, who hypnotised me and made me believe in myself.
Well, after that, my phone started ringing off the hook. Everybody wanted me to solve their problems. Champion sports people, superstar actors, even members of the royal family.
and leading CEOs endorse my work.
At that point, I felt like writing a self-help book, and I had no idea that it would become one of the biggest self-help books of all time. Number 1 in the UK and number 2 in America, only because Barack Obama was number 1. Since then, I've written 22 best-selling books, sold 12 million copies in 32 languages, made regular appearances on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Good Morning America, The Dr. Oz Show, Rachel Ray, Anderson Live, and many more. I had no idea I was going to become the go-to guy for some of the most talented and famous people on the planet. Now, what I've discovered after helping millions of people over the last 30 years is that if you're someone who suffers from anxiety, stress, or worry, it's not your fault. It's not. It's simply the result of bad programming. You see, everyone gets programmed with beliefs and habits that are formed in the first few years of life. Many of our programs support us, opening a door, tying our shoelaces, but some programs we pick up along the way don't support us. Fear of public speaking, self-doubt, insomnia, getting too stressed too quick. Whilst most of our programs support us, everybody has a few negative programs in their subconscious mind. Many of these ultimately make us stressed and anxious and spoil the quality of our lives. Right now, there are so many reasons to be stressed. The war, the economy, but in addition, you've got background stress. An argument, caught in traffic, a deadline, late for a meeting, dealing with a difficult person. The seemingly little things in life that mount up to create enough stress to cross a threshold. This is where we start to get moody, make bad decisions, we snap at people, and eventually we get sick. Early signs like high blood pressure, back pain, insomnia, depression, and even excessive drinking are all indications of excessive stress. And sadly, for some people, years of accumulated stress mean that when they get sick, it's too late. It's only then that they wish they'd done something sooner. But what if there was a simple, natural way? What if there was some brand new, simple psychological techniques that take minutes to do and dramatically reduce your stress, leaving you full of energy, thinking clearly, and letting you keep your edge? The new scientific breakthrough is finally here, and it's comprised of a number of advanced techniques that quickly reprogram your subconscious mind so that you automatically go into optimum states, able to handle problems and challenges in a relaxed, alert feeling of control, the same way that high achievers do. When you're in a state of relaxed alertness, it's like pushing the off switch on overwhelm, desperation, and anxiety, and pushing the on switch for confidence, resilience, and control. Can you imagine how you'd feel if no matter what was going on around you, you felt in control? to be in the zone of happiness and bliss, and at the same time able to handle all kinds of things that life throws at you. Usually, it takes a single session to reprogram your mind, to not only relax and temporarily feel better, but to actually change the way you see the world, to shift in a very comfortable way your perceptual filters so that you feel free of the burden of anxiety and stress, and you can see solutions and opportunities all around you again. This is done through hypnosis, deep relaxation, NLP, visualization, and psychosensory techniques. And when people feel that instant shift from stress to peace in their mind, all of a sudden, the stressful thoughts of the traumatic memory that used to overwhelm them is gone, or just a distant memory. If you're one of those people who is constantly worrying about the calamities in the future, using these techniques will help you feel relaxed and in control, feeling calmer, happier, and more authentic. I went on to become part of a whole new movement in the world of psychology more than 30 years ago. Millions of people have now used my techniques to not just reduce stress, but to be in optimal states of performance. From the most hardcore PTSD trauma and abuse cases to everyday people looking to lower their blood pressure, stop overeating, and improve their career. To superachievers like Roger Daltrey, the lead singer of The Who wanted to get into an optimal state for his performance at the Super Bowl in front of 1 billion people.
And Courtney Love and Stephen Fry, both of whom I helped to lose weight via hypnotherapy.
My techniques include a relaxing but highly sophisticated trance that programs your right and left brain so that you use your whole mind in solving problems and dealing with life, feeling calmer and more secure in social situations, and being more confident in life generally. In addition, there are some psychosensory techniques. TFT, that's thought field therapy, not to be confused with EFT, was developed by my late friend Dr. Roger Callahan, which involves tapping on various acupuncture meridian points, which stimulates in the body and mind the change of flow in energy, which may be blocked, causing a physical and psychological problem to disappear. Years of scientific research have shown it to be highly effective. The most recent psychosensory therapy, and in my opinion the most effective, was created by my good friend, a Harvard PhD, Dr. Ronald Rudin. And it's called havening, as in a safe haven. There's mountains of scientific research on this. Here's a very simple scientific explanation of how it works. When you suffer a trauma, a 100 Hz wave travels from the thalamus and phosphorates what's known as the AMPA receptors. In other words, it creates a biological change in the brain. However, when you apply the havening technique, you create a delta wave that dephosphorates the AMPA receptors, resetting the brain to how it was before the trauma. The simple act can create a significant and lasting biological change. However, you don't need to understand all the science to use the technique any more than you need to understand how an engine works to drive a car. The results with trauma, PTSD, depression are nothing short of astounding. This is why in 2015, the Health Science Journal published a randomized trial of 5,000 patients and found that psychosensory therapy was far more effective than traditional therapy and even medications for mental health issues. That's because they literally reset the biological structure of the brain for calm and peace in seconds. Because psychosensory techniques work faster and more effectively and are way less expensive, old-fashioned therapists are naturally up in arms. But there's nothing they can do to stop the revolution. I can honestly see the day when traditional therapy is looked on as a thing of the past, in the same way that doctors once believed that smoking was good for you. And finally, the biggest breakthrough in modern psychological times is the creation of neuro-linguistic programming. Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, nearly every major sports person and modern therapist uses this or a form of this psychological technology, which allows you to run your own brain, have control over your thoughts and feelings, overcome limiting beliefs, and turn around unwanted behaviors in minutes. They also help you to understand how other people think so that you become a more powerful influencer. People across the whole spectrum of society have benefited from these advanced technologies. People like David Walliams, the British comedian who used my hypnotic trance to deal with the stress of swimming across the English Channel. I helped Ellen DeGeneres reprogram her smoking addiction live on TV. Frank Bruno wanted to be completely relaxed before he went and won the World Heavyweight Championship. Ronnie O'Sullivan made a huge comeback and became the greatest ever snooker player by using my reprogramming techniques. I'm always honored when somebody endorses my work. Even though most of my work is with regular people, I'm known for working with famous people because some of them choose to endorse my work publicly. Ryan Seacrest, James Corden, but recently one of the most important people being Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mindvalley. Within 2 minutes of meeting, Vishen and I just clicked. We realized that if we combined forces, we could create the ultimate vaccine to the psychological pandemic and begin to cure stress, anxiety, and fear that's all around the world right now, and in its place, create happiness, bliss, and confidence. That's why I took the most powerful techniques I've ever used with all my patients and transformed it into an online program that's changing lives everywhere. It's called Everyday Bliss, Freedom from Anxiety. It's my most advanced program in the world right now, and it's available exclusively on the Mindvalley platform. Everyday Bliss is a 21-day program that's hosted by me. It's the culmination of my 30 years at the sharp end of treating stress and anxiety. Every day, you go through 15 to 20 minutes of training, designing and reprogramming your brain for everyday bliss, creating new neural pathways that eradicate stress and give you total freedom. So you can keep your spark, your joy, no matter what's happening around you in your life. You'll discover how to access a deep sense of calm and relaxation with such ease and fluidity that it becomes second nature. Your journey begins with the centerpiece of my whole methodology, the hypnotic trance. Using a sophisticated double induction, it'll communicate with your left and right brain simultaneously. This powerful trance reprograms your subconscious mind to achieve deep states of relaxation, to have more energy, and be more effective in your everyday life. What that really means to you is that you start to enjoy life more, appreciating everything about life, big and small. All these things that we don't have the bandwidth to notice when we're stressed start to become rich and apparent to us, and you get the overwhelming feeling that all is well. This creates a positive loop where we start noticing more and more good things happening, attracting more and more incredible things into our lives. You can use the hypnotic trance in so many ways. You can either listen to it before you go to sleep at night or before a high-stress situation like a meeting or a date. And the result of listening to it just once will blow your mind. You might even find yourself feeling euphoric for no other reason than we've programmed your mind to produce more happy neurochemistry every minute of every day. Now, as you go deeper into the program, you'll learn one of the most powerful tools of all, the psychosensory techniques, which include the havening technique. These are amazingly effective at relieving the most deeply rooted anxiety, trauma, and pain. I work with a lot of people with PTSD, and many of them thought that it was just something they were going to have to live with. But with havening, suddenly they overcome it and they get their lives back. Some people are a little upset that they sat through years of traditional therapy when it can be transformed in minutes. In Everyday Bliss, you're going to be discovering how neuro-linguistic programming works. This is an incredible way to tap into your subconscious mind, reprogramming different aspects of your life by taking control of your thoughts and your feelings. Bill Clinton and Tony Blair, arguably two of the most charismatic leaders of all time, are both huge fans of NLP. And Oprah Winfrey uses NLP to manage audiences and motivates them. All of these techniques and more are layered in day by day, using a unique methodology, speaking to your subconscious mind. And as you practice these techniques, something begins to shift inside you, and previously stressful situations will barely even register because you'll be focused and in control. You'll be more resilient, more capable, and life will be even better than you'd ever dreamed possible before. So in total, when you buy Everyday Bliss, you get 21 individual sessions with me, all less than 15 minutes, sessions that are impossible to get with me in person, but As soon as you acquire Everyday Bliss, I'll be coaching you personally for 3 weeks. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars or fly to London. If you need confidence, happiness, calm, at a touch of a button on your phone, I jump out and I do it to you. I'm your personal coach in your pocket 24/7. Everyday Bliss is one of my finest pieces of work. It's taken me decades to get to the point where I can deliver it to you in a simple, fast, beautiful way. It's not a lecture. It's an experiential coaching session. Because it's delivered online, the enrollment price is nowhere near the $10,000 cost to hire someone like myself. Here's the best part. Everyday Bliss is part of Mindvalley, the world's biggest personal growth company,
With 100+ unique programs,
in every aspect of human transformation. So when you become a Mindvalley member, you automatically get Everyday Bliss, as well as all the other programs that Mindvalley has for you. Now, you might want to start with Everyday Bliss and go through this 21-day experience, but after that, you might want to jump into another program. Maybe my other program with Mindvalley, Total Self-Confidence, where I program you to have the confidence to achieve anything you want in life. All of this is available when you sign up for Everyday Bliss today. Now, in addition, you'll have access to a thriving community of over 100,000 people all around the world who are also dedicated to improving their lives and other people's lives. So you'll be able to make new friends and even attend community meetups happening across the planet. And the best part is, you don't have to risk anything with Mindvalley. You can try Everyday Bliss today for free for the next 15 days. And at any point in the next 15 days, with one click, you can get yourself a full refund. You can go through the entire program, if you like, in 15 days, and then with one click, get a full refund. No email, no phone call, just click and get a refund. Now, here's exactly what to do next. Simply click on the link around the video. Then you'll be taken to our site where you can choose your membership option, either monthly or yearly. After that, all you have to do is enter your regular details into our secure checkout, and you'll instantly be welcomed into the Mindvalley family. Within a minute, you'll get an email with your login instructions. You can access the Mindvalley platform on your computer or download the iPhone or Android app. Although I do have to warn you, this one-time offer on the yearly price is giving you a pretty big discount, so it's only for people who've had the time to sit through this entire video. It's a thank you for spending so much time with me. As soon as you click off this page, I'll be gone. Please don't close this page because you may want to see it again. You may be wondering if you should or shouldn't click on this link, or maybe you have decided you should. Whatever decision you make will be the right one for you. You'll be able to lock in this discounted rate for as long as you choose to stay as a Mindvalley member. Even if Mindvalley membership shoots up, you still get this rate. So click the link below to join Everyday Bliss today. I made Everyday Bliss not just to help you be free of stress, but to create freedom in every area of your life. Because once you get rid of the stress, worry, and anxiety, everything opens up for you. You have more time to dream and think bigger about your life, to be unstoppable in your quest for amazing health, amazing relationships, and have an amazing career. Thank you for watching. Until we meet.